east and west across the Louisiana coast.
They loaded the ships and they sailed away, but the rhythm remained. It decided to stay in the weave of the kente, in the beat of the chest. We are the dynasty, we are the blessed, the rich in the laughter, rich in the rain, standing tall in the sun, standing tall in the pain. We are not victims of a stolen past. We are the first breath and we are the last. Africa, yeah. Mama, 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 Africa, yeah. They took the harvest, but we kept the seed. Mama, 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 Africa. You are the garden that satisfies every need. Look at the skin, black gold. Look at the story never fully told. Forgive me that I didn't come when the ships pulled away with my sons. Forgive me that I wasn't there when my daughters cried out in the air. But baby, I was on my knees, fighting battles you couldn't see. Chains were wrapped around my hands too. I was trying to break through to you. My baby's in the Americas, stripped of language, stripped of name. Haiti rising, paying the price for daring to break the chains. I saw you.
Support the preservation of a vital cultural tradition. Vodou faces erasure and misrepresentation in today's world. Your support ensures Vodou's future and cultural integrity. Help preserve this vital culture today. Support the preservation of a vital cultural tradition. Vodou faces erasure and misrepresentation in today's world. Your support ensures Vodou's future and cultural integrity. Help preserve this vital culture today. Support.
Honor and respect, honor and respect, honor and respect. Divine all blessed greetings and salutations. It is another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Voodoo Hoodoo 101. Powered, produced, promoted, sponsored, and supported by NOIVD, New Orleans International Vodou Day. New Orleans International Vodou Day exists to restore rightful dignity, authority, and global recognition to the Voodoo family of traditions. Our mission, purpose, and the motive behind New Orleans International Vodou Day, NOIVD, forms a single coherent vision to protect, unify, and elevate Vodou and Voodoo as living world traditions with deep ancestral, cultural, and spiritual authority. Our mission frames NOIVD not as a festival, but as a cultural embassy for Vodou worldwide. NOIVD responds to the urgent needs of this moment, a time when Vodou is simultaneously sought after, while yet misunderstood and misrepresented. Our purpose unfolds across several dimensions. NOIVD exists to protect the traditions from harm. NOIVD confronts misrepresentation in media, exploitation by uninitiated practitioners, cultural theft and commodification, historical trauma and colonial narratives. And by establishing standards of authenticity, NOIVD becomes a shield for the traditions and the communities that carry them forward. NOIVD serves as a platform for public teaching, ceremonial demonstrations, scholarly dialogue, youth and community education. This ensures that what the world learns about Voodoo comes from real practitioners, not stereotypes or outsiders. And we continue to strengthen international cultural diplomacy through partnerships, with the Republic of Benin, Haitian cultural and spiritual leadership, New Orleans cultural institutions, and global diaspora communities. NOIVD positions Voodoo as a legitimate world religion with diplomatic presence and cultural power. And tonight, we continue to invite your support, participation, and visitation, promotion of these events, donations, and sponsorship of this powerful legacy and expanding international endeavor. Please continue to visit us for connection and more information about participating, volunteering, and supporting our symposium, our Afro Ecology exhibit, our art exhibition at Xavier University on Saturday, May 23rd, and our sacred procession from the river to Congo Square on Sunday, May 24th, where we will have our formal ceremony. We're also thankful for your continued support and participation on all social media platforms. And for those who participate and support this podcast live in chat and always in archive at your leisure and convenience, please do join us now live on platform with your mic, camera, or photo avatar by way of the QR code in the upper left corner of the screen or the streaming URL at the bottom or the top portion of your screen, depending on your orientation. And do visit us at voodooday.org, VODOUDAY.org. Our NOIVD QR code is at the bottom right corner of your screen. And tonight we have two powerful guests and certainly a very special guest. Our beloved team member, co-administrator of NOIVD, Mama Camille, is back tonight with more updates, more invitations, and more invites for you to join us and participate. We are also having a very special guest tonight, the Haitian vocalist Malou Bouvol. Malou Bouvol is a Haitian American singer, songwriter, actress, and cultural advocate whose work is deeply rooted in the ancestral traditions of Haitian Vodou. And I have her YouTube channel URL streaming at the bottom of your screen. Beloved co-hosts, I will be unmuting you both momentarily after I do a brief introduction of tonight's topic. It is our ongoing topic. We typically have a subject matter that we discuss openly on platform each and every night. And so tonight we are continuing our conversation about the intersectionality, the differentiation of spirits, energies, ghosts, and jinn, the deeper levels. So, welcome back, family. If you joined us yesterday, you know we began a journey, not just across geography, but across cosmology. We opened the door to understanding the spiritual world is not a single blended mass. It is structured, it is layered, it is intentional. And today, or tonight in part two, we're not retelling that story, we're building on it. Because once you recognize that spirits, energies, ghosts, jinn are not interchangeable, once you understand that each category has its own temperament, its own protocols, its own boundaries, the entire spiritual landscape begins to make sense in a very new way. So tonight we're going deeper, not into what, but into how and the why. Let's start with something simple but profound. Discernment is the backbone of African traditional religion. Our ancestors didn't survive by guessing. They survived by knowing who they were speaking to, who they were feeding, who they were calling, and who they were absolutely not calling. And when you mistake an energy for a spirit, you misread the moment. When you mistake a ghost for an ancestor, you misread the relationship. And when you mistake a jinn for a loa or an orisha, you misread the entire cosmology. And misreading leads to imbalance. This is why the traditions in Ouida, Dahomey, Yorubaland, Congo, Haiti, Brazil, Cuba, and New Orleans all developed systems of classification, not to complicate things, but to protect the practitioner. Differentiation is not elitism, it is safety, it is clarity, it is cosmological hygiene. Yesterday, we named the spirits the Loa, the Orisha, the Voodoo, the Nkisi. Tonight, let's talk how they move. Spirits move with order, they move with jurisdiction, they move with purpose. And when Ogu arrives, he arrives with fire, iron, clarity, and discipline. When Oshun arrives, she arrives with sweetness, diplomacy, and the power to cool conflict. When Dambala arrives, he arrives with purity, elevation, and the quieting of chaos. These are not random presences. These are cosmic administrators. And when they possess, they do not possess to frighten, they possess to align. Now, energies, that's a different conversation. Energies don't have names, they don't have personalities, they don't arrive, they shift. Heat rises, coolness settles, Ashe flows. Say shapes destiny. Ashe accumulates, disperses, strengthens, or weakens. And energies are the votive behind the ritual. They are the current behind the spirit. They are the breath inside the medicine. You don't worship energy, you work it. And if you don't know the difference between spirit and an energy, you will misinterpret the entire ritual. Now let's talk about ghosts, the ancestors, the wandering dead, the unclaimed spirits. Ghosts move through memory, through emotion, through unfinished business. An elevated ancestor, an egungun, a gede, a petwa beho, moves with wisdom, protection, and clarity. But a wandering dead spirit moves with confusion, longing, or attachment. This is why ancestor work requires elevation. This is why we feed them, call their names, honor their stories, because elevation transforms the dead into guardians. Not every spirit of the dead is an ancestor, and not every ancestor is elevated. Discernment matters here more than anywhere else. And then there are the jinn, the category most people misunderstand. Jinn moves with speed, with heat, with volatility. They are not ancestors. They are not deities. They are not energies. They are a separate category of non-human intelligence that traveled with West African Muslim ancestors into the Caribbean and even into New Orleans. Some are allies, some are tricksters, and some are very dangerous, but all require boundaries. This is not a category you stumble into. This is a category you approach with knowledge, lineage, and caution. Now, let's bring this home, literally. In New Orleans, especially in Treme and Congo Square, all four categories coexist in a living, breathing ecosystem. You have the spirits, the Loa, the Orisha, the Nkisi, the Abasan, the city spirits that walk with the people. You have the energies, the oils, the powders, the roots, the vibrations. You have the ghost, the ancestors in the cemeteries, the spirits of Storyville, the memories embedded in the land. And yes, you even have the echoes of jinn stories carried by Senegamian Muslim ancestors. New Orleans is a crossroads, a convergence, a spiritual port city. And if you're going to walk this landscape, whether as a practitioner, a votee, or a student, you need to know who you are encountering. So, as we move forward tonight in our podcast, and our beloved co hosts prepare to unmute and join the conversation, as we move forward in part two of tonight's discussion, I want you to sit with this. The spiritual world is not chaotic, it is organized, it is intelligent, it is layered. And when you understand those layers, you move with clarity, You move with confidence. You move with alignment. Tomorrow night, in part 3, we're going to talk about how to recognize these categories in real time, in ritual, in dreams, in divination, and in everyday life. But until then, walk with your ancestors, walk with your clarity, and walk with your discernment. Ayibobo and Ashe. And greetings and salutations to my beloved co-hosts, panelists, Ray Alexander. Please do unmute and join the conversation. Queen Mother Camille Nalata, please do come on in and join our conversation. And our beloved priestess, Malu Beauvoir. We certainly are honored, grateful, and appreciative of your presence tonight. And so, please, how you doing this evening?
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good evening, everyone.
Mhm. Good evening.
Typically, Queen Mother Tony would be here and she would kind of be leading the conversation. I typically kind of fall back at this point. So I really want to allow Mama Camille to do her thing, to make her announcements. I believe there might still be some roles that we might need participation in terms of, volunteership and support. And she will certainly introduce Malu Beauvoir,
Yes.
and Malu Beauvoir will carry us forward.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so very, very much, Divine Prince. And welcome everyone that is listening. And we welcome your participation and your wonderful vibrations. So tonight, as you just heard, we have a marvelous queen that we have tonight with us. And she's going to share her life, share her divine ancestry, and we really have a gem here tonight. Before we get started, when one goes into our website, there is a portion there that is Call for Artists. And we are still interested in other artists that would like to participate in the symposium for May 23rd. So, in clicking on Call for Artists, please feel free to fill out the form, look at the details that are necessary so that your display will be seen. And we invite those that come to talk with the artist and bring something home from them. And so, without any ado, we're going to start our marvelous conversation with Queen Malu Beauvoir.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. We're so honored that you are able to come on aboard tonight with us. I know you travel, you live internationally, and that is always so exciting to me. So let's get started with who you are and take your time in discussing those things you would love to share with us.
Great. Thank you so much for inviting me. You know that this is one of my favorite subjects, talking about voodoo, spreading the word that needs to be spread, changing the narrative on this amazing culture that we have, because I will not say religion or something like this. It encompasses so much more. It is our basis. It's our roots. And I think more than ever, in the States, abroad, we are facing erasure. I mean, we are facing a culture, a category of people that seeks to erase all diversity, erase all past, and impose a new homogenized future.
Mm.
And that pushes me as an artist, which is what I am,
Yes.
to fight, to express, to seek different ways to express um, my culture, which is Haitian and originally African, and to interest the young people of today, of my culture and of other cultures, to express theirs.
Mhm. Truly. And we see with piggybacking, as we would say, off of what you just described that is happening in the present, Queen. I see that our children, our melanated children, specifically from African origin, whether one claims it or not, it is a dire need for our children. And that means who I'm describing and other children who need to understand and
Yes.
learn about the trueness of us as melanated people and how we were responsible. We were responsible for this world, how we live in it, how we had empires, not starting off with enslavement. There is a design plan, as you just said, to get rid of what? God's chosen ones. Come on. And that's not to be racist, it is real.
It's very interesting. I agree. I have a difficult time saying that anyone is a chosen one. I think we're all chosen. And the
Yes.
first thing we have to do is choose ourselves.
Oh, that is so real. Yes.
Ayibobo.
Uh-huh.
Choose ourselves is to honor ourselves, is to choose our truth, is to honor our truth. And that is whether you are Black, whether you're African, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Vodouisan, whether you're Haitian, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Chinese. We all have a past that brings something to this future.
Yes.
And we are being encouraged to erase it, to forget it, to put it away. But I think that that contribution is exactly why we're here, each and every one of us.
Yes.
And we
Oh,
all have ancestors upon
that's
whose shoulders that we stand and have our very being, literally and figuratively.
Absolutely.
So, you just spoke a melody of message as it relates to what NOIVD really is, and what our mission is.
Yes.
It's not an event to fear. It's not an event to separate and segregate, our community based on race or ethnicity or even background. And we're pulling from the ethnocultural lineage and memory of all of our ancestral roots that intertwine in this woven tapestry of, as I like to say, Voodoo, Vodou, and Voodoo. I like to say them all three because people will say, oh, well, oh, Voodoo, I know what that is. That's Haitian. And they say nothing about West Africa.
That's
Oh,
right.
Voodoo, they don't have that in New Orleans. What they got is something different. That's not true either. So our point, our goal, our mission, as Malu said so eloquently, is to dispel the lies, the appropriation, sometimes the commercialization, but certainly the bastardization of our practice and our tradition, and
true.
reestablish it as the global world spiritual power that it truly is.
Hmm. So,
I, I wanted to just say one thing in response to that also,
mhm.
not to hog the conversation,
No,
but
you're our guest. Remember this. It's not about hogging, it's that we are honored. So move on.
all right, I'll move on. But
Okay.
honestly, when I was doing research for a children's book that I was doing, I kind of wanted to go back and find out where our symbols came from, where they journeyed,
Mm.
where they traveled, who they touched. And I was very surprised to see that we all know today that life originated in Africa. We all
Yes.
come from Africa. White, black, Chinese, everybody, that is the origin
Yes.
of life. At least the strain of Homo sapiens sapiens who exist today and who survived.
Hmm.
There are parallel ones that existed. We found traces, but they died off. But when you look at voodoo, this earth religion, I realized that throughout time and until today, in all of Asia, the spirits are respected. The ancestors are respected. I was in Thailand. There is a temple, a shrine in front of every business where the
Mm.
fruits are changed every day and gifts and honey, etc., are given to honor the ancestors and the spirits. And when you look at Roman mythology and Greek mythology, they also believed in thanking the wind and thunder and the spirits of the sea for everything that was around them because it was a logical choice. Monotheism came in far later. And at that point, and it also started in Egypt and with the Romans, where people decided that there was going to be one God, one person, and created a hierarchy, which was quite different than what we have. So when people tell me voodoo is so strange, how can you? I say, I, like 70% of this world, honor nature. What is
Yes.
less evident is to decide suddenly that one representation of God is the only representation. I
Mm.
mean, I respect all forms of religion, huh? But just to remind us that there's not something so unusual. The snake of Dambala, we find him in Egypt. We find him in the dragon of China. We find him in the medical sign.
Yes.
So that somehow has come out in the Bible. So voila, that's what I wanted to say.
I am
You know, I'm
happy you.
also honored that we're both born in the same city. I'm also born in Chicago. I've been
Oh,
in New Orleans 30 years now. And certainly I miss Chicago every day, but I have no plans of moving back.
it's
Certainly
cold.
not challenging that winter. No. But even in Chicago, I saw and felt and experienced voodoo at the lakefront. And back in the day, you know, there were fruit trees and herbs and all kind of things along the lake shore until they started tearing it up and redeveloping it and putting down these concrete structures. There was
Right.
a location once called Belmont Rocks back in the day that had all kind of fruiting trees and edible
Wow.
plants that I used to love to go and sit in and bring my
Mm.
crystals and invoke my relationship with the spirits. So I found that very heartwarming when I discovered that you were also born in Chicago.
I was. I left early, but there were many Haitians in Chicago. And Du Sable is apparently a Haitian who founded Chicago.
That's right.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am.
We stretched out. There were so many slaves brought to Haiti. I think that Haiti owes its reach and its influence to the fact that there were so many slaves brought to that colony to support France. We represented 50% of their
Huh.
revenue at one point, that it
Yeah.
was only normal that those who survived managed to get out. I mean, I think it was one of the colonies which received in a very compact period of time the most slaves, and where a huge number of them died because the life expectancy was for 7 years.
Mm. Yes. Well,
So
certainly we know that New Orleans, because of our sweat, tears, and blood, was the richest area in the United States.
yes,
And look at all of the phenomenal creations that our people have brought to this life, to this.
Ayibobo
Indeed, to this country.
to
And
this.
that bloodline, that energy traveled up the delta, up the river, and deep into the Midwest, and certainly, into the North, in locations like Chicago and St. Louis and Detroit and in other locations. But we understand, that you are world travel, Malu, and so we would appreciate your experience in terms of voodoo. I like to say voodoo worldwide, because again, people often either misrepresent, what voodoo is, or try to aggressively separate us, the West African voodoo from the Haitian voodoo, from Dominican Republic or Brazil or certainly
or
Louisiana.
Argentina or Venezuela
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
or
So
even
just share
Morocco.
share some of your experience in the intersectionality of voodoo globally.
Well, the first thing that I think that I should make a point of is I believe that there is a distinction between the practice of voodoo and the belief of voodoo. The two can intersect, but they are not always the same.
Mm. Mm.
Just to say that there are things like anything. I came to voodoo in a very strange way. I grew up around it. My uncle Max also came to voodoo in a strange way. I think that the whole Beauvoir family has always walked with the spirits. We've
Mm.
always had a la cour. We've always had family spirits that we honored and who walked beside us and gave us strength. My grandmother Ga was a Mambukai. She didn't believe in in the Asogwe methodology. It's not she didn't believe in it. She believed that voodoo was there to serve your family
Mm.
and to serve your loved ones, to heal them, to guide them, and that the family spirits would protect us.
Ooh, true.
And according to my dad, my grandma had one little maison kai, kailwa for each spirit, and she would go in and she would change her scarf and she would speak with all of them and come out with advice, with things which allowed her to raise the 11 children that she raised, four which were not her own, and to carry on in life. And in her children, and in her stepchildren, because Max is her stepson, which were also around her. I have two people, Mathilde Beauvoir, who was a very prominent mambo in Paris, who wrote several books, who sang, and who was an amazing dancer, who danced with Béjart, and brought her culture to classical and then modern dance in Europe, in theaters all over, operas, theaters, etc. And Max Beauvoir, who was a biochemist and who worked for Monsanto and who went back to Haiti to study sisal for cortisol or cortisone for Monsanto, and who was contacted by his uncle at that time and told that he would have to pick up the mantle and carry on the family traditions after his death, which he did, because he he spent his life, dedicated his life, his daughters dedicated their lives to studying and to writing about voodoo. And he became the Ati, which is kind of the highest hierarchical leader of voodoo in Haiti.
Mm. Mm.
And I certainly honor and respect that lineage. I consider myself the voodoo godson of Max, being that he initiated Mambo Sally Ann, the
Yes.
Asagwe of our house. So I take great pride in hearing you tell that story.
Yes. He was somebody, and his wife, Elizabeth Beauvoir, I have just, I'm launching a series of scarves, voodoo scarves based on the veve. And I have an entire series based on her designs. She was a blonde-haired, big, beautiful Marilyn Monroe looking like woman from Reims in France. And one of the most amazing mumbos I've ever met. She actually is the one who picked me up as I left the initiation from Max. And in that moment of confusion that we can have, she's the one who told me, sit down, Malu, write in your journal. And in a year, you're going to look back on this silly little girl that you were and discover all the things that the spirits bring to you. Because from now on, they've always walked with you, but now you walk together in harmony.
Ah,
And it was so true. So I've dedicated an entire line to her design. She was a graphic designer, and she was a powerful mumble. And that interaction within the family, within people I've met, I also am a psychic. I see people. I've done this in different places, and I've encountered stories, which is why I say the beliefs in voodoo and the practice of voodoo are two things. And I've often realized that people are called by some kind of an event, often by a very disturbing event. Could be the death of a child. It could be the death of someone close. It could be the loss of a job and your world crumbling, which is what happened to me. And you're suddenly, Sally Ann just brought up the correction. I didn't dare bring it up. Max did not initiate her. Edgar and Silva did, but she has the highest respect for Max as well.
Yeah, my
Everyone
apologies.
has, yeah. But as I was saying, we are called from all over the world. And I have seen people who have been touched by voodoo in Holland, a young man who wrote a book, who traveled all over. He fell into a trance when he went into a club, and there was a Togolese drummer who was playing, and the spirits took him over. When he woke up, the drummer was leaning over him and said, I guess my drum spoke to you.
yes, indeed.
And he went on to do incredible things. Sally Ann, who found herself in Haiti and who went on to do incredible things for voodoo and is continuing to do so. Babette, we have this richness, this beauty, this relationship with the spirits. I have noticed myself goes far beyond Africa, Haiti, America. It stretches throughout the world. It touches people who are spiritual and in very random ways, and it speaks to them very directly. So I think that is the one thing. I was called in a very definitive way. I had no reason to believe in anything. I knew that there were spirits around me. I'd heard them from the time I was a child, but I'd never identified them as such, and I'd never given them names. However, when they chose to enter my life, they disrupted everything. And literally, like a river changing path, they closed off any direction I was in and steered me in a new direction and changed my life. For whatever that's worth.
Well, you're being modest now.
I'm being modest now.
Those places where you have lived, Melu,
Yes.
can you give us a little story behind the places you've gone, beside the one that you told us about the gentleman that was in the club and went under into the spirit?
Absolutely. In France, I ran into a wonderful woman. I met her in Haiti. Actually, she had her peristyle in Haiti. Her name is Mireille Ayin. She's just written an incredible book, or she wrote an incredible book. She joined voodoo in Haiti in a very roundabout way. She ended up looking for a job in France, going to Santo Domingo, hating it, and saying, I need to get out of here, anywhere. And nobody wanted to go to Haiti at that point. And she said, I'll go. And that, at the same time, she had an accident with her daughter.
Mm.
She lost. And she was a bit at the point in one's life where you have nothing to lose. And that step into Haiti caused her, who was working in the French embassy or French cultural center, as classifying books, not doing anything, in the field, to travel regularly to Max's place to go and learn. And it became a passion to the point where she was initiated into the secret societies and buried alive.
And what?
And buried alive in one of the rituals that they have.
Yes.
And then she lived incredible adventures, and she has written about it.
Mm.
And I followed her to Benin. I went to Benin on my own. I traveled trying to make a documentary throughout Haiti, because my curiosity when Max passed away was, why would people spend the equivalent of 3 months of what they make instead of eating to create a dress to
Mhm.
honor a spirit?
Mm.
And I wanted to go in that. So I went in search of voodoo. And I think I found the answer in Benin when I was speaking with the kings and I filming them, and I felt very uneasy. And the driver who was there, he said, "You want to know voodoo? Follow me." And I told him, "Justin, I thought you told me you didn't like voodoo and that you're a Christian." He said, "I am a Christian. I don't like voodoo, but my mother is a chef de culte. So I know voodoo. I'm born in it. You want to see, pick up that bottle of St. James that's on the side. Come to this little village, sit down and see." And the elder of the village came. I wanted to photograph him. And he said, "Open that bottle of St. James and let's talk." And I asked them each, what is their definition? What is voodoo for them? And they said, voodoo is love. When you love a tree that should have died 50 years ago, but generations have fed it, have given it um, uh, honey, have worshipped it, have poured love into it, it survives because it supports the community as the community supports it.
Yes.
It's balance. It's balance.
I meant. Yes.
Voila. So I'll say that my travels, the journeys have brought me to that essence. Those who believe without needing necessarily to make grand ceremonies, have a deep relationship or balance with the elements that surround them, with the people that surround them, with the spirits that surround them.
Oh, yes.
Well, we are certainly honored and appreciative of your presence and your history and telling tonight, both you and Mama Camille. And certainly we are honored to have Malu Beauvoir with us tonight. And we look forward to hugging your neck again this third annual New Orleans International Vodou Day on May 23rd and May 24th. And we're certainly thankful for those who continue to support us by way of social media, all of our individual respective Facebook pages, profiles, and groups. Certainly our regional, local, national, and international listenership by way of LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, and always thankful for those who join us by way of Instagram. Greetings to you and yours, Hiru Hetep. Thank you for joining us. Muffy Poppins, thank you for joining us. Mickey the Prince, we certainly appreciate you. Antumboro, we appreciate you. Gataka Heru, we certainly appreciate you. LeGrand Floor, thank you for joining us. Joe Bandit 412, we appreciate you. Life as Ward, we certainly appreciate you. Doris Janelle joined us. We appreciate you. Gnome Notorious 144 joined us this evening. Demario the Artist joined us again this evening. Anthony Bernard, greetings and salutations. Anis Dantor joined us. We certainly appreciate you. Street Money Boar, thank you for joining us. Gamble 912, thank you. Fredo the Great, we certainly appreciate you. And K Jones 610. And we invite you to return again tomorrow night and weeknights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on a platform near you or by way of our QR code located in the upper left corner of the screen or by way of the scrolling StreamYard URL. I certainly appreciate everyone's attendance, support, volunteership, participation, donations, sponsorship, and participation in our GoFundMe. And I look forward to being with you here again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. U.S. Central Standard Time. I will
And
turn the mic over to Mama Camille and Malu Beauvoir for closing. All is a blessing.
all is a blessing. We thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I was getting chills, my Lou, while you were talking about these
Mhm.
experiences, and just looking at the history of New Orleans on our side of the African experiences, living them. I wanted to also let the our listening audience know that her wonderful artistry will be displayed that day. Um, that's May 23rd at Xavier University. And Wayne Malu, she will be doing more than just showing her artistry. She will be one of our translators from one language into English. We are blessed, and a surprise of Malu and Camille, and we're
Yeah.
going to put together something that is going to come alive in the interpretation of either song or spoken word with movement. And I am truly looking forward to this experience. And
Sure.
again, find others that we would invite volunteers to come and be a part of the whole weekend, especially for the symposium. Again, in that website, you will see uh, part of call for volunteers, just like, again, don't be shy. You have so much inside of you, people. So I'm saying this is the time, just like Melu said, she said, if you remembered, it calls you, and you may be sitting inside something and it's time to release it. So here's an opportunity for that to happen. So please go share the information about the website. And if anyone is interested in being a volunteer or becoming a symposium artist, we highly invite you to do that very soon because it's not too far away. So we would like to see who would like to participate. All right. Malu, you would like to have some uh, other ending words for us for right now?
I wanted to say thank you. I didn't realize we were ending. I wouldn't have hogged the conversation, but I do want to say thank you so much, Voodoo Chief Prince Dai, for inviting me. Thank you,
Yes.
Camille,
You are
for
so
Thank you for
inviting
coming.
me. Thank you, Ray. And I wanted to say a special thank to Sally Ann Glassman, who I
yeah.
met with Rachel, my cousin, during Kosamba, and
Ooh,
who has opened this relationship for me with New Orleans. And
mm,
I really love it. I mean, I think that it is so fantastic. There is such spirituality. There's such riches in that place. It's
yes.
magical.
Mm,
And
ooh,
thank you very much. And thank you to the people who are listening. And I hope everybody's going to be there at Voodoo Day and everybody's going to contribute and contribute to the GoFundMe because we have to all put our hands together to keep our culture alive.
yes.
Ayibobo.
Thank you
Ooh,
so
yeah.
much all for the education. Like it's so amazing to have these living libraries, these spoken words, and it's just been so amazing. I feel so connected just hearing you talk, and I'm still recalibrating to it. But thank you so much for giving us the pleasure of hearing you speak.
Yes.
And please feel free to join us any weeknight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Go ahead, Mama.
Good
Use
night.
one more thing. And I want to remind you, Melu, it's not that you were hogging the time. We highly invited you to spread the word, spread and teach and do all the things that you do and introduce many of us to some experiences that you have given us. She also has a book, a children's book.
I have it here.
There it is. I have it too. And so listen, will that be available for others to purchase on the 23rd?
Absolutely. I will have a few copies with me, and it can also be purchased on Amazon. And I'm very happy to say that there's a Creole version, which is being finalized right now, and it will be available at that time too, of the coloring book and of the children's book. So this is the coloring book, and this is the children's book. And I'm really hoping this is the first part, the part where we are in Africa and traveling and going to Dahomey. And the book 2 will be coming out in July. And that speaks about when we arrived in the new land in Haiti and how we spread out in our relationship with the indigenous people and everyone. So I'm hoping the children will enjoy that.
Oh, I know they will. That's part of the calling. And tomorrow, everyone, we will have another symposium artist to come with his works and about his life and his artistry and photography. And that would be Alan Amato. So we look forward continuously. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Good night, Odabo.
Good night.
Dabo.
Good night, everyone.
Olúwa ti gbé yẹn ti bẹ̀ kó tó fẹ́ gbọ́ láfọmọdé. Ìfẹ́lẹ́kẹ̀ tá ń bèrè dé o.
Allow me to show you something.
They say I'm crazy and that might be true. I got this white in my DNA, yeah, I'm coming for you. It's time we turn the table, strip these motherfuckers on you. I wanna see you hanging from trees, it's time you pay for your dirt and your showtime. You created the monster, you created the beast. Now all this savagery you just gon' reap. I'm coming home, daddy, to the plantation, and I'm taking the lives of everybody, including the children, on some Nat Turner away. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. I met my girl Harriet at the gate. If you wanna know how she doing, yeah, she straight. But she had one question: when we gon' get up? All that talking tough, yeah, we don't walk it tough. She got it locked and loaded, got that piece up on her side. She looked me in my eyes and said, "Meet you ready to ride?" Moving forward, you gotta use both eyes. Watch your front and watch your back. Keep your hands up on your gas. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. He sit at the table, but he don't order no bacon. He greet me in those words, assalamu alaikum. Got them glasses on his face and them waves in his head. He go by the name of Detroit Red. He looks me in my eye and says, "You only get one try. Know that your biggest opposition will come from the inside. I know you wanna love them all, but don't even try, because they'll smile up in your face while plotting your demise." Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. Do you hear that sound? It's about to go down. Unleash the beast, we about to tear this motherfucker down. We are the children of the ancestors that weren't punked, bitch.